William Whalen here for GetMoreSports.com, and congratulations, college basketball fans. We have finally made it. March Madness is here, and it is now officially the start of Champions Week here in the nation of college basketball. However, while that may be true, we've already got a handful of auto bid winners from low major conferences that have secured their place in the NCAA Tournament. A couple familiar names that we've grown to know over the last couple of years, a returner from last year as well, but also, and this is always the best, someone making their first appearance ever in the NCAA Tournament. And we are about to give you quick coverage, a little quick what you need to know over the auto bid conference winners so far that will be appearing in the NCAA Tournament. First up, the North Florida Ospreys from the Atlantic Sun making their first ever appearance in the NCAA Tournament, getting a big-time conference win there over South Carolina Upstate. The Ospreys stormed the court. They're not going to be able to do that come the NCAA Tournament itself, but they are led by Dallas Moore and his 16 points per game. Again, anytime a school is making their first appearance in the NCAA Tournament, it's a special experience. Unfortunately for them, that experience might be a little bit kind of vaulted in a different way, just because they will have to do the play-in game most likely in Dayton. But nonetheless, exciting for those young men, and who knows, maybe they can make some things happen, maybe even move on from that play-in game towards a 16-1 matchup, and maybe they'll face the Kentucky Wildcats, and hey, that at least, at the very least, is an experience that those players will never forget once they see guys like Willie Cauley-Stein and Trey Lyles in the NBA for years to come. And how about in the Big South? Coastal Carolina back in the field of 68. They were in there a year ago, and they return this year. A balanced scoring effort from these guys, of course. But again, what we like to see are teams making runs in the late tournament rounds, and Coastal Carolina was not necessarily the only favorite in this conference tournament, but when the number 1 and number 2 seeds got knocked out, things kind of cleared up for them. Congratulations to Coastal Carolina. We loved watching you a year ago. I think that we're going to love watching you and your balanced offensive attack again in 2015. And here's a team that we've talked about quite a bit here on GetMoreSports.com. Northern Iowa beating Illinois State, coming back from 18 down to beat Illinois State and win the conference title in the Missouri Valley Conference. The Panthers making their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2010. Of course, we all have seen them go on runs in the past, a Sweet 16 run where they upset Kansas. I believe that was the Cole Aldridge-led Jayhawks. And now the Panthers are led by Seth Tuttle and are one of the most efficient defenses in the country. They can also pick you apart offensively. They're not going to run you out of the gym necessarily, but more like suffocate you. And they are certainly capable of doing that. It's going to be really interesting to see where they are seated in this tournament, whether they're going to be more in the 7 or 8 range, or whether maybe they can creep up into a 5 or 6 even. The 5 range might be a little bit high for them, but nonetheless, this is a team that can certainly go on a run, and it's going to be a nightmare matchup for somebody in the second round of the NCAA tournament, especially when somebody gets a load of Seth Tuttle. Another low major name that we have come to love over the last number of years, the Belmont Bruins. Belmont, a exciting, a thrilling, and one of the best conference final games in the tournament that we have seen thus far, as they overtake Murray State, a team that had gone undefeated in conference play, a team that many thought was capable of a Sweet 16 type of run in the NCAA tournament, given their guard play. However, it was Belmont, a fadeaway, jumping back, deep NBA range three-pointer sealed the win for them. It was a back-and-forth game. Of course, they led Murray State for much of the second half, yet Murray State battles back, takes a late lead, but the Belmont Bruins maintain composure and ultimately work their way into the NCAA tournament field, given that. Now, this is a case that we've talked about bid stealers in the past. Murray State is not going to get an at-large bid, so Belmont will not be on our NCAA tournament bid thief watch. However, Murray State was considered the heavy favorite, but this is what this week is all about. It's about madness. It's about chaos, and Belmont provided that with late heroics in beating Murray State and advancing to the conference tournament championship title, and of course, into the field of 68 for the NCAA tournament and March Madness.